owners of Encores and More Consignment. Today we're going to talk about how to properly hang and pin your clothing items. When your clothes are hung properly and look nice on the hangers, they will sell better. Before you spend your valuable time tagging your items, please be sure that you've read the website or our flyer that lists all the guidelines for your clothing. We want to make sure that they're going to pass inspection when you come to drop off, because if they don't, you will have to change the items on your own time before you leave. The first thing you need to know at Encores and More is that we only use wire hangers. Often your local dry cleaners will give them to you if you ask, or you can find cheap places for them on the internet. When you hang your items, you want to make sure that the hanger makes a question mark, and then your card will go on the right shoulder over the heart area. Be careful, you don't want to pin it too high on the shoulder, because if you do and somebody's hanger comes in there, it can rip your card off. That's why it's really important to catch the card twice with your pin. See how it's in there twice? Don't do it up and down, but catch the card actually twice. That way it makes it really tough to get off just by ripping or just normal people moving the hangers in the clothes. Speaking of pins, these are the type of pins we use at Encores, an inch or larger. In fact, the bigger the better. I really love the big pins. These, on the other hand, I don't like the little tiny ones. They don't hold anything. It's really important that you pin properly so your stuff does not end up on the floor or separated from the card. You'll lose money that way. We won't be able to pay you, and then it'll just be lost. Alright, let's talk about how you can make your shirt sell better. Let's look at this one. It's been ironed and hung very nicely. All the buttons are buttoned, even the collar. It looks almost brand new. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to fall off the hanger. As opposed to this one that's not been ironed, they only button the top button. It just doesn't look nice. It's not presented in a good way at all. Which one would you rather buy? Some shirts may have slippery material. It's really important if you pin on both shoulders when that's the case. If one slides off, it'll look like this, and that's ugly. If the other one slides off, it's on the floor, and it will not sell on the floor. The same thing goes for items that are strappy, like a little tank top like this, or perhaps a swimsuit like this. You don't want them to slide off because they'll be on the floor. If you don't have a paper hanger, which is a really good way to hold the pins on, you may have to just improvise and put your own tape on either side. Pin both of them on there and then put your card down here as normal, and that way it's not going to slide off. It would take a lot for this to jump off, but that way it'll be on the hanger and in somebody's shopping cart instead of on the floor. Okay, now that we've talked about shirts, let's talk about pants and shorts. The first thing you want to do when you're hanging your shorts is place them at the top, at the most narrow part of the hanger. And you're going to pin it twice, like fold it over like that, so that it doesn't slip and slide on the hanger. It's not hard to do. Often, especially if you use these great big pins, often putting it in the pocket is even easier because it's skinnier. And of course, you're going to zip up the zipper. Now, don't these look great? They're not going anywhere, and everybody wants to buy a pair of these shorts. Now that you've seen a great example, let's take a look at what you shouldn't do. This is so bad. They hung it on the bottom instead of the top. They didn't catch the material twice. They didn't zip or even button the item. And when it gets hung on the rack, this is what it's going to look like. And don't forget, paper hangers are not only good for strappy items, but they're great for your pants and shorts. Okay, now that we've talked about shirts and pants, let's talk about sets. Here's one, the set of jamboree, and here's the shirt and a skirt. And what you want when you're pinning them is for the shoppers to be able to inspect all your pieces. So you put the shirt on first, turn it over, and then put the skirt on the back or the pants. Pinning them the way we've talked about at the top whenever possible so that it doesn't slide or hang around funny on it. Here's this particular consigner has also got a hair bone, so they've used a curly ribbon to attach it just so it can't come off. And of course, don't forget on your printing instructions of your tags that you want to list all the separate pieces. Sometimes you'll have sets where you have to pin through the shirt. There's not enough room at the top of the hanger. So what you're going to do is pin it like normal to the back, but be doubly sure that the hanger is in between your pin, that the hanger is going to support the pants, not just the shirt fabric, or it will make a hole. Let's look at how to hang more complicated sets, such as this Fleur outfit by Gymboree. First of all, what you would want to do is hang the shirt as normal, then hang the jacket over it, perhaps only zipping it halfway up so that the shirt can kind of show underneath it. Then turn it over, hang the pants at the narrow part just like we've talked about before. I always like to put the interesting part on the outside so they can see it as they're inspecting it. Then you would hang the hair bow over here with a separate pin but very securely. And don't forget to denote all the different pieces on your card. On high-ticket items, you may want to add an extra piece of packing tape just to cover up the pin as an extra precaution. That concludes our hanging clothes video. Thank you so much for being an Encores and More consignor, where we are bringing down the cost of growing up.